Have you ever questioned your ability to keep going? And I'm not talking about motivation, because motivation we all know is BS. We know motivation doesn't really exist, and that the idea to have this goal or this thing to keep us going, that's just a societal thing that I think needs to be scrapped, but that's a conversation for another day. I'm going to ask you the question again. Have you ever questioned your body's ability to keep going? And I'm not talking about being depressed or anxiety or feeling unmotivated or feeling like you just don't want to do anything. You wake up feeling like you don't want to do anything. You wake up feeling like you have no motivation, no push to do the things in your daily life. Whether that's being a parent like myself, being self-employed, working a 9 to 5, going to university, going to college, going to your job, or just waking up and doing housework. Simple, mundane things that we all have to do, right? What if I told you that one day I woke up from a nap and I had a seizure for the first time ever? I was really confused. I was like, what is going on? I had this seizure, and obviously I was rushed to hospital. I had done tests and I was tested for different things like meningitis and sepsis and X, Y, and Z, until a few days later in the hospital, after several seizures and a crash call, almost heart attack, I was told I had something called functional neurological disorder. I was like, what is that? Never heard of that before. I was 22 at the time. And the neurologist came to me and he said, Jess, you have F&D. And I was like, what is that? And he told me that F&D, in my case, was triggered by unresolved trauma and stress that was built up in my body, that my body was just holding on to for all these years. Didn't know what to do with it until one day it kind of just said, here I am. You need to face me now. You need to deal with me now. Why am I telling you all of this? Because I'm about to be 24. I have 2 kids. I'm in a very different place in my life where I feel confident enough and experienced enough to tell you that if you are in your 20s and you're watching this video, you need to save this, you need to share this, you need to come back to this another day if you don't want to watch it right now for whatever reason. And you need to pay attention to what I'm about to say, because what I'm about to say can save a lot of your lives. And that is not me even trying to be dramatic. That is me being 1000% honest with you, because I care about you. I want you to succeed. I want you to make it to 30. Because there was a point in my diagnosis where I didn't think I was going to make it to 25. Hi, if you're new, my name's Jessiara Marriott. I'm 24, I'm 23. My birthday's in August, so I keep saying 24, preparing myself to be 24. I'm 23. I have 2 kids. I've got a 4-year-old and I have a 18-month-old. I had my daughter when I was 19. And before that, I was a reckless teenager, I guess you could say. I was quite chaotic. I liked the finer things in life. And when I say finer things, no, I was not rich by any means necessary. I just like to spend the very little money I had working my cafe job as a barista, as a waitress, on things that didn't mean anything. It was material things. That led me to being in the wrong crowd and having a friendship group of people who were over the age of 25, and I was 17 at the time. Like, what is wrong with you? Crazy. I feel like we've all been there, having older friends and feeling like that was a cool thing, but now looking back, no, that was crazy. But if you're watching, hey. And I turned 17. And I always say to people, when people ask me like, what was your favorite age in your teenage years? 17, definitely. And after I tell you this, you're going to be like, why? Like, are you sure? When I was 17, I went to so many different festivals and concerts, and I just lived my life as a 17-year-old, going to college and having friends and having a boyfriend at the time. I had such a great time being 17 until I got into a car accident as a result of a drunk driver who was in the vehicle with me, who I never met before getting into the vehicle with him. And I have this whole story time on my channel. I'll link it if you're interested. I'm telling you this story now because it's coming up to the anniversary of the accident. And after being diagnosed with F&D, I also was diagnosed with complex PTSD because of this accident. And every time the anniversary comes around, I experience such weird symptoms of reliving the accident over and over and over again. Every time I close my eyes and go to sleep, it's the first thing I think about. Every time I have a moment of silence and drift off and daydream, it's the first thing I think about. Every time it's my friend's turn to speak in a conversation and I go silent, it's the first thing I think about. And not necessarily in a negative way anymore. I think I've gone through a lot of healing and I've done a lot of processing. I've done a lot of forgiving myself for this because I had a lot of built up guilt. Anyway, this is not a therapy session. I'm telling you this because as a result of this accident, like I said, I was diagnosed with complex PTSD. I was diagnosed with FND. And for many people, not all the time, FND is triggered and diagnosed because of unresolved trauma, unresolved stress. Your body has all this stress and trauma, whether that is childhood trauma, PTSD, anxiety. If you went through something as a child that you never got over and brought it into your adult life, guess what? It can happen at any point to anyone. Specifically in your 20s, that's what I noticed. I noticed symptoms in myself of F&D. Looking back, I noticed all these little symptoms that just kept building up until I had the seizure. And looking back, it was so obvious that that was about to happen. Like, duh, of course you've got complex PTSD. You've not healed from your trauma. You've not done therapy because you were reluctant to doing therapy because you were a 17-year-old kid. You didn't want to do therapy from a car accident because you didn't want anyone to talk about feelings and feelings were gross to you. Like, you didn't want to do any of that. I get that. But Jess, you have trauma. Of course your body's going to react if you didn't resolve it, if you didn't heal from it, if you didn't recover from it. Of course this is going to happen. Duh. I thought. I think one thing being in our 20s that we take for granted is our health. We take our health for granted. We take our fitness, our bodies for granted. We don't know how much our bodies rely on us. We rely on our bodies, yeah, but our body relies on us to get through our mundane tasks, to get through work, to get through university, to get through being a parent. Your body relies on you to keep going. So if you have ever for a millisecond had this thought of, I'm not going to make it to 30. And that's such a morbid thing. That is such a morbid thing to think, but guess what? It's so common. Like, I've had friends in the past tell me that they don't think they're going to make it to 25. And I'm like, what do you mean? In the back of my mind, I thought the exact same thing, but we don't talk about it. We don't talk about the serious things. We don't talk about what could happen if you don't look after yourself. We don't talk about what could happen if you don't get therapy and heal from your trauma and, talk to someone about how you feel, because talking about feelings is, it's gross. Or so I thought once upon a time. And I still get my moments of like, I don't want to talk about feelings, ill, don't do it. But guess what? I'm a mum now. I've got 2 little people who rely on me. My 4-year-old daughter, how important it is to talk about your feelings and how important it is to voice your feelings, your emotions, however you're feeling, even if it makes someone else upset. If you are honest about your feelings, you're doing your body a service. If you are repressing your true emotions, your true feelings, if you're holding back how you really feel about whatever situation that may be, your nervous system's going to hate you. Your body's going to hate you. Because think about it. That's like stopping a child from playing with a toy they really want to play with. Have you ever seen a kid? Doesn't have to be your kid, doesn't have to be in your family, a kid at the park. Have you ever seen like their parent or a family member just hold them back from doing something that they really want to do? They see a shiny toy over there. And they want to go and grab it, but the parents like, no, it's not your toy, you can't grab it. That makes them want to grab it even more. That would make me want to grab it even more. And then they're getting all frustrated and they're shaking and they're screaming, and then they have an outburst, they have a tantrum, they freak them out, okay? And they run and go grab the toy, and it's like instantly they're relaxed. Or they grab it and they're like, oh, I don't want it anymore, and they toss it. That's what your nervous system is doing. When you repress these feelings, these emotions, these desires, your true feelings, it is really doing harm to your nervous system. And I think what I've realized in my few years of having this condition, and another one which I'll get onto, is how important it is to stop caring about other people's emotions and putting other people's emotions and being scared of hurting someone else's feelings. And this, I say this cautiously because yes, of course, be wary of other people's emotions, be wary of how you treat other people and speak to people. Don't intentionally go out of your way to harm someone or hurt someone's feelings unless it benefits them or benefits the situation. But I would much rather hurt someone else's feelings and be honest to them and myself specifically than repress it and hold that back and bite my tongue. Because guess what? As an ex-people pleaser, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm sorry. No. I have gone through way too much to bite my tongue down on a situation that may be bothering me, on something someone has said that bothers me. Instead of calling them out and saying, oh, no, you shouldn't actually say that. Oh, I didn't really like what you called me. I don't really like what you said. Rather than saying that and having that few moments of uncomfortableness and discomfort and the awkward feeling that you feel when you call someone out on something, I'd rather feel that than feel this disgusting knot in my stomach for the rest of my life, because that's what it does. And you don't know that it does that until you have a condition like mine, until your nervous system slaps you in the face and says, wake the hell up, you need to heal. You need to stop being a people pleaser. You need to say how you feel. You need to resolve your trauma. You need to wake up. Because guess what? Being in our 20s is prime time, isn't it? It's prime time. We are at our most fit, at our most attractive, some may say, at our most youthful. We're getting there with the money thing. We're getting there with the career thing. You may not have kids, that's great for you, but I do. So I have to alter everything I say based on having kids. But being in our 20s is amazing, isn't it? I'm nearly halfway through mine and I'm just figuring it out. I say that. Not at all. I think I'm lying to myself. I'm still figuring it out. And if I'm being so honest with you, I didn't want to film this video. Before filming this video, I nearly had a full-fledged breakdown because I'm in my luteal phase. Oh my God. Feel for me, please. Just had my period. My emotions are all over the place and I was just feeling a bit sad. I was feeling a bit low. I had a really bad flare-up last night with my symptoms. I'm in chronic pain. I've got a chronic condition. I'm in chronic pain. I'm in pain all the time. Ugh, don't like to talk about it, but I am. I don't like to complain, but I am. And I said, Jess, I don't really want to film. I kind of just want to sit down and watch TV. I'm self-employed. I can do that. And I'm very thankful I can do that. I was like, let's just sit on the sofa, watch some YouTube. Let's do some admin on my laptop and wait until it's time to go get my son from nursery. Then we have to do the school run and then mum life picks back up again. I said, no, doing this video will help me. Doing this video will heal my nervous system. And it literally has. Talking to you, trying to help you by sharing my story has healed me. It honestly has healed me. It's made me feel better. Now, let's talk about my other condition, POTS. It's called postural tachycardia syndrome. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Words, tongue twister. Now, POTS is essentially a condition that is caused when you go to stand up or when you walk up the stairs, your heart rate increases drastically. And if I can be so honest with you, it's a very uncomfortable condition to have because it's not just having your heart rate go from 90 BPM to 140 just from standing up. It is everything that comes with it. It is the dizziness, it is the nausea, it is the vertigo, it is the dystonia. Sometimes your muscles lock, it is the blood pooling when blood rushes all the way down to your toes, your fingers. Oh my gosh, the weirdest symptom. It is the migraines, it's the chronic pain, it is the discomfort that you feel of having your heart rate increase so much that your body is a bit like, what the hell? Like, whoa, slow down. And because I have this thing called wanting to be unique, it's not rare, but it's kind of rare, I guess. I don't know. I've got a different type of POTS where not only does my heart rate increase from standing up, walking up the stairs, those type of things, even just walking, I can walk a couple steps and my heart rate would increase. Not only that, but I have a type of POTS called hyperandrogenic POTS. Big words for you guys today. Hyperandrogenic POTS is a type of POTS where your blood pressure also increases from staying standing, from staying upright. And as you can imagine, this is so fun for me because when for example, if I'm in the line to do my food shopping, if I'm waiting my turn in a line, if I'm at the supermarket, if I'm waiting at the park with my kids, if I'm waiting in the line to do the school run, if I'm just standing washing up dishes, standing for over a minute, my blood pressure increases to quite a dangerous level. And I was literally diagnosed with this a few months ago, so it's still very new to me. And I always got confused, like, why is it when I stand for so long, I get so dizzy and so nauseous and I literally feel like I'm gonna pass out? I was like, why do I feel like this? I was diagnosed with this in August 2024, so it's been nearly a year with me having this diagnosis. But guess what, babes? I had these symptoms for years. I had these symptoms for about 3 years. It was around March 2024 that I started passing out. And then I was like, oh, this is not normal. We're passing out now. Not normal. Okay. And my GP didn't do anything about it. They said I just had anxiety and I needed to drink some more water and do some more exercise and do some mindfulness. Let's be kind here. Okay, let's be kind here. I'm telling you this information because your body will be giving you all the signs. Your body will be giving you all of the answers. It will be telling you, it will literally be screaming and shouting at you like, hey, I think there's something going on that we need to get checked out. And no, it's not anxiety. No, it is not anxiety. It is more than anxiety. And I'm saying this with frustration because it seems that whenever a young person in their 20s goes to the GP, a doctor, with symptoms of I've had a headache, I'm tired, my heart rate's increasing a little bit, I feel a bit anxious. Never tell the GP you feel anxious, by the way, unless you actually do feel anxious. But if you feel anxious randomly and your heart's fluttering and your head's spinning and all of that randomly, don't let them tell you have anxiety, please. Unless you do, but don't let them tell you have anxiety. Because one too many times I have gone to doctors, to people who are supposed to help you, but in fact they delay the process in you getting diagnosed, and that makes your symptoms so much worse because you're going through more months of worse symptoms and your body's just hating you for it. Your body is reacting because of it. Your symptoms get worse, you get hospitalized, and then God forbid something bad happens. I don't want that to happen to you. That's why I'm sat here telling you this. And you may think, Jess, this is such a serious video, like lighten up a little bit. I will lighten up once you get the answers that you need. I will lighten up once you go to your GP and tell them all the symptoms you've been experiencing. I will lighten up once you heal yourself. I will lighten up once you get diagnosed with an actual, real diagnosis other than anxiety. Okay? We're not doing that anymore. We're in 2025. Like, come on. We need to start taking our health seriously. I don't care if you don't think there's anything wrong with you. I don't care if you don't have the time to go to the doctors. Find time because, babe, this is your health we're talking about. This is your health. Your body relies on you. Can I remind you of what I said at the start of the video? Your body relies on you. Just as much as you rely on your body relies on you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to eat healthy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to walk on the treadmill. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to lift weights, to stay healthy, to keep your body going. I'm going to tell you that you need to start listening to your body. It is giving you all these symptoms and all these signs of like, hey, maybe we should go to the doctor, or maybe we should sit down, take a breather. If you're tired from walking up the stairs and you're fit, you're healthy, you go to the gym, you work out, you're a normal BMI, everything of that sort is normal, but you're still out of breath, your chest still hurts, I think you should go to the doctor. If you're passing out, if you're having random body tremors and muscle spasms, if you're having a stammer, if you have seizures and you've never had a seizure before in your life, go to your doctor. I think about 2 years before I was diagnosed with FND, I had stammers randomly. I would wake up in the morning and I would struggle to get my words out. I would have a stammer. I would stutter, and not like a normal stutter that we all randomly have. No, I was like stammering. A speech impediment. Moral of my point, because I'm a girly that just likes to do this sometimes. Moral of my point is you need to stop taking your health for granted just because you are in your 20s. I'm not having any health problems because I'm in my 20s. I'm healthy because I'm in my 20s. And what? And what about it? Did you know that I know an 80-year-old? I know someone who is in their 80s that is healthier than me. I know someone that is in their 80s, 23, who is healthier than me, who is more fit than me, who can walk up the stairs in one go and not even take a moment to, and I'm here doing the most. Let go of your pride for a minute and check on yourself. Stop saying therapy is for people who have deep-rooted trauma. Sometimes it can be the smallest, most minute amount of trauma, amount of stress. Sometimes it can be you getting laid off from your job. It can be a breakup. It can be a friendship breakup. It can be you getting a bad grade on a test. It can be you getting laid off from work. It can be something so small that will send your body into fight or flight. I'm in fight or flight every day, babe. I'm in fight and flight every day. My body is fighting itself some days with these symptoms. Like I can be here filming this video for you, but you wouldn't know that after this video, I'm crashing. I'm crashing. Because in the chronic illness world, we have something called spoons. Spoons is basically the amount of energy that you have in your day. So I start my day with 12 spoons, for example. Each activity I do, I lose a spoon. Getting my kids ready for school, losing a spoon. Getting myself ready, losing the spoon. Walking down the stairs, 2 spoons, 3 spoons, gone. By the end of the day, I've finished my spoons. Yet I still have to show up as a mum. I still have to show up for myself. I still have to make sure I get myself ready for bed because not only am I finished, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, my body's screaming at me, telling me to stop, but I'm still going. That will make my symptoms so much worse. And I want to preface and say, like, this is not the case for everyone. I'm not saying that just because you have a bit of trauma that you haven't gotten through or dealt with, you will have a chronic illness. I'm not saying that. But for the majority of us, it is so small and it just builds up and it builds up. And the stresses of everyday life is enough to get our body and send our body into fight or flight. So it is time that we put our ego to the side. We stop listening to our friends who are telling us that it's fine and that it's nothing. Stop listening to that partner that's telling you it's fine, it's nothing. Or your parents, your family members may be telling you it's nothing. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking there may be something more. I should probably get that checked out. You should probably do yourself a service and listen to yourself. Don't you think? I hope this video wasn't an attack. I hope this video was not an attack. I'm just trying to help you. I'm honestly just trying to help you because guess what? I'm not going into the new year with more symptoms that I had left over the last year, you know? I'm not going into the new year with another diagnosis. I'm trying to heal myself and help myself out now whilst I have this. And that's why I'm telling you this information. That's why I'm talking to you about this, because put your pride to the side for a minute and get serious with your health. Not an attack. Again, not an attack. Anyway, my loves, thank you so much for watching this video. This one was a bit different and it was really impulse. Like I said, I did not want to film. I had this video in my video list. I wasn't going to film it, but because I've been feeling a bit today, I said let's just do it, and it's made me feel a lot better. The sun's come out. I feel great. I'm not gonna lie, I feel great now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're new, consider subscribing. We do a lot of content on here and we are doing more of this type of content on here, so let me know what you would like to see next. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, show some love. I have 2 kids to feed. Thank you very much. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.